It's the busiest time of the year, earnings season. This week, we have major companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, and more reporting. So we want to get you prepped for everything you need to know. Before we talk earnings for a second, we're going to talk about the US economic reports and Fed speakers that are happening this week. As we get into this, I'm Gav Blacksberg, also known as Wolf Financial. I'm here with Evan from Stock Market News. Make sure take a second right now, subscribe to this channel. It's just free content covering earnings, economic reports, and news from the stock market on a weekly basis so that you can be an informed and profitable investor. Let's get right into it. This week, we don't have anything on Monday, but we have a busy week, really from Wednesday on. Evan, what's standing out to you this week?
Economic calendar, number one thing we have to look at is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The FOMC will be raising rates. It is pretty much across the board expected they're going to be raising rates by 25 basis points, but that will definitely be unwatched. And then Jerome Powell will be having his press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, which definitely has to be watched. Those are 100% the biggest macro events for this week. Also on watch, those jobs data numbers. So we're going to have ADP employment report. We're also, I believe, going to have non-farm payroll and a couple other stuff as well. So definitely make sure you are looking out for all those job numbers. But by far, biggest macro event this week, FOMC raising rates and Jerome Powell press conference. Anything I
Yeah,
didn't hit on there?
no, you hit it. Yep, that FOMC meeting is the meat of the week, and then Thursday morning initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, those will come out at 8:30 a.m. So we'll have them before market open, and then Friday non-farm payrolls and employment rate also before market open. And then we have those ISM services index. That's the only thing that'll be coming out Friday after market open that really I think we'll be paying attention to. Maybe a little bit of services PMI. So yeah, I think we hit on it really well. Keep an eye out. We'll be live on Twitter Spaces for that FOMC meeting. So if you have a Twitter account, make sure that you're tuning in and listening during that. Let's dive right into the week of earnings. This is a bright, shiny week over here with a lot of big names to go over. There's not too much to pay attention to on Monday. We have SoFi in the early morning. We're not really going to dive too far into that. But once you get into the rest of the week, really starting out with, Exxon, GM, UPS, Pfizer, Caterpillar, McDonald's, Spotify, that morning is busy, especially the close too, right? AMD, Snap, Amgen, Supermicro, I think that's SMCI right there. So there's a lot coming through, and then that latter half of the week is loaded. We want to make this, not as quick as possible necessarily, but as easy to understand and comprehend as possible. So we're going to do just a quick run through. We're going to give you expectations for each of them, and we're going to do it in a good amount of time. Let's dive right in on Tuesday. Anything that you want to specifically discuss from Tuesday, Evan?
Yeah, quickly. So what you are looking at on this page. So where it says UPS, United Parcel, that's a stock. Right below that is the time you should expect the numbers to be released. So for UPS, it's 6 a.m. Eastern, General Motors 6:30, Exxon 6:30. And then next to that is EPS and revenue. That is what Wall Street analysts are expecting. Generally, it is the consensus. So they're going to take 10, 12, 15 analysts and just take the average of it. So that is what you are seeing here. And you can see all the different expectations going on. UPS is expected EPS of $3.58, GM $1.65, ExxonMobil 3.32 billion, and so on. I don't want to read off all the numbers
No.
to you, but you can see them all in front of you. Wolf, is there one specific earnings on Tuesday? This is just Tuesday morning. That's crazy to think about how much we have here. There's one earning on Tuesday morning that you'll be watching the most. I think for me, it might be these McDonald's ones, but I know a lot of people will be on Exxon.
Yeah, ExxonMobil is going to be a big one. McDonald's, Caterpillar has been at all-time highs. Spotify just laid off people. Pfizer is in the news story right now with a lot of, different problems, I would say, that are going on for them. So I think that there's a ton to keep an eye out. Not really specifying out just one of them because there's just so many big names. And then that theme really continues into the evening, especially in more of a tech sector with AMD kind of leading the charge here for some of those semis. Snap, which always has volatile earnings, hopefully won't disappoint this time. It's always a 20% or one way or the other. And then just so many more, Match, EA. So a little bit less because these are the two big ones. But yeah, an interesting afternoon as well. You want to go into Wednesday?
Yep, for sure. I agree with you. AMD Snap by far the biggest two on that day. Separates
Okay.
itself. Oh, and as at least in after hours, they do separate themselves a little bit. Wednesday morning, we got a couple names. Waste management has become pretty popular, has been for a while. I imagine we will still keep making garbage indefinitely. But we also have T-Mobile, Peloton, Altria, and a few others going on Wednesday morning. I believe Humana just got a massive, like $16.3 billion contract with the U.S. government, and I didn't see anyone really talking about that. So
Yeah,
pretty interesting. I'll be watching the earnings this week.
Yeah, they have really high revenue expectations. We have this sorted by popularity right now, not necessarily sorted by market cap or anything like that, but you can just see right now, just how much more in revenue some of these companies do than others. But you also want to see at the end of the day, how does that convert into EPS and have that for comparison as well. Good stuff there from these companies going into the after close earnings that are coming out on Wednesday. This is where some of the big names start here. Really with Meta, I think is the name that stands out. Kulik and Sofa is a name that I'm familiar with. Align, but Meta is, I think, like the one that stands out here, right?
Yeah, I'd say that Sofa Company is a little bit below Meta, but also important to note that this is the day we get Jerome Powell and FOMC, so it'll be FOMC into Meta earnings. But yeah, definitely that's the one that's standing out. Facebook earnings. I told myself I'm going to keep calling it Facebook until the stock price is over where they made the conversion.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah. Rolling into Thursday morning, we'll be coming off of that FOMC. We'll have a little bit of data in the morning. We'll have Eli Lilly, Merck, ConocoPhillips. These are a bunch of big names that are just getting more attention nowadays, especially Merck to the downside, I would say. The healthcare industry has just been so interesting with the way that it moves. Not too much else, I would say, but really the one I'll let you take here is after hours on Thursday.
Yeah, after hours on Thursday is going to be wild. Gonna be absolute craziness. We have Apple, Amazon, and Google all reporting earnings. Google and Amazon are going to come out pretty much at the exact same time. So that should be a fun couple minutes right after the close. But outside of those names, we also have Ford, Qualcomm, Starbucks, US Steel, Gilead. It goes down a hill a little bit when people are going to care about after Starbucks.
Don't forget.
MicroStrategy or Skechers?
Skechers.
There we go.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Yeah.
Even random names like Clorox. Yeah, I was just going to say that at the bottom. I've used Bill.com before. Oh, no, I don't think I have. I think that's a Chinese company, actually. But Apple, Amazon, Google, definitely by far the largest names here. There will be some interest in Ford, Qualcomm, and Starbucks as well. But what is this? This is probably 30% of the NASDAQ 100 reporting earnings in one day.
Yeah, third Peloton.
And probably 15% of the S&P 500 is reporting in the same day.
Yeah, pretty crazy. We got a ton coming this week. So that's everything. We've covered it all. You've seen it all. As we said, we'll be live for all of it. We're going to be live on Twitter Spaces. You can just come to @wolf_financial or @StockMKT News with a Z at the end on Twitter, and you'll see it. Of course, we'll also upload a recap video to these channels. So make sure that you're subscribed, following, liking, and you will see more coming along your way. That does it for me on this one. Anything else for yourself, Evan?
I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, anything you want us to add, and the next time we do this, as Wolf said that, we're going to be doing this every single week. Let us know in the comments below, and good luck to everybody in the craziest week of the year. Hopefully it goes well.